the US competitiveness is going to go down in the automotive industry. So this is predominantly something which is going to hurt the US economy, and it will hurt the US economy more than it's going to hurt any other economy.
So today we're going to talk about protectionism, and it's especially topical at the moment. But this goes back to what's been happening in the US with them threatening, Trump especially threatening to leave NAFTA and TPP, and now we have the steel arguments coming up. Let's just start on the protectionism. What is it exactly, and why is it such a big deal in the US at the moment?
Well, it is a big deal in the United States because Donald Trump is the first president for a long time who entered the office as a full-blown protectionist, someone who is convinced and has been convinced for a long time that openness to the rest of the world is not an economic benefit for the United States, and that's upending what has been the trade policy and the broader economic philosophy of the United States for a very, very long time. I mean, we have to go back to perhaps 100 years in order to find another president who were convinced by the same opinions as Donald Trump. America has also been the leading country in the world in trying to open up markets and foster greater economic integration, partly as a mechanism in order to build stronger foundations for peace and security. But of course, also, it has been in the economic interest of the United States to do so, because when markets have opened in everything from Europe to Asia to South America, it's also proven to be good for the US economy. It's increased productivity, it's increased its gross domestic product and given more jobs. So this is really a big thing, because the main leader of the world economy has now decided it's time to roll back the trade liberalization reforms that have been done over the past 70 years and to go for a different policy.
First, last year we saw Trump wanting to pull out of the TPP, also threats of leaving NAFTA. Now with the steel tariffs he's threatening, what do you see next, and how big of an effect do you expect this to have on the US economy?
Well, the steel sector itself is a pretty small part of the US economy. And it is going to remain a small part of the US economy, even if it introduces these sort of tariffs. There's no one expecting that the tariffs alone are going to push up output and jobs in the steel and aluminium sectors. The big effect will come on all those sectors that are using steel and aluminium for their own production, like the automotive sector or the construction sector. So we're going to see that all the infrastructure products that Trump wants to do in America, the price of them are going to go up. And we're going to see that the price of producing a car and selling that car on the global market the US competitiveness is going to go down in the automotive industry. So this is predominantly something which is going to hurt the US economy, and it will hurt the US economy more than it's going to hurt any other economy. So I think that's what we're going to see now. But as you say, I mean, this comes on the heels of many other things, that we have a threat from the administration that they are going to leave the trade agreement they have with South Korea. They're trying to renegotiate the NAFTA agreement with Canada and Mexico, and if the president decides to withdraw from NAFTA, that's going to be huge, really, really huge, because the US economy, the Canadian economy, and the Mexican economy, they are so heavily integrated into each other that we're talking about an extraordinary loss of production that will happen if Trump decides to step out of NAFTA.
So let's jump over to Europe and discuss this idea of protectionism. We've just seen the results, or the first sort of results from the Italian elections, and it looks like the sort of protectionist parties have done especially well. What do you make of these election results, and how far do you see this protectionism sort of idea as it's spreading across Europe, it seems to be?
Yeah, I think it's first important to point out that protectionism is not something which is exclusive to the United States today. We can see it in all other parts of the world, including Europe. where we've had, ever since the crises, a growing predisposition among governments in order to try to protect their own economies and at least give some advantage to domestic firms vis-a-vis foreign firms. So this is happening in Europe as well. Now, with the Italian election and the fact that we probably at some point going to have a new Italian government, it basically means that we are most likely going to have another voice at the sort of table of the European Union that is going to argue in favor of, if not protectionism, so at least not liberalizing its trade any more than it's done so far. And that's going to sort of add to other voices that have basically been saying the same thing, that either to sort of go very slow or very carefully in trying to make trade a stronger contributor to the European economy, or indeed to go for more protectionist measures. So even if the significance of the Italian election may be stronger in other areas than trade, we are most likely going to see a Europe that now with Italy and perhaps with other countries in the future that will add to the strength of sort of the protectionist argument that we've been seeing growing for some time now.
Well, thank you, Fredrik, for speaking with us. A fascinating topic. Hopefully we can speak again soon. And thank you for watching. If you like this interview and would like to find out more, be sure to head over to dukascopy.tv.